What's up, you guys? All right, well, here I am, finally, a green day, breaking the red streak. So 2 red days in a row, green today, $1,100. It's not home run stuff. It's not, it doesn't really put a big dent into the losses from the last 2 days. But what's really important is just having kind of a day of stopping the bleeding and being able to start to regain my center. So tomorrow, I'm gonna again have the same focus of just trying to continue this, putting space between me and the last 2 red days. And if I could finish this week with 2 green days, even of just $100 a day, that will have the effect of helping me get recentered. So going into next week, I can kind of come back a little bit more even keeled. The fact is, anytime you have a big loss, it takes a few days, sometimes weeks even, to really get back to center. You feel a little shaken, you feel a little frustrated, and to regain that confidence, you need a series of winners, a period of better accuracy, better performance, and that just takes time. 1 green day is not going to completely cure the sort of emotional impact of having a really big loss. So tomorrow it's not like I'm back to normal. Tomorrow is still going to be a continuation of trying to rebuild and get recentered and kind of regain some confidence. So hope you guys enjoy the recap. It's kind of a short one. Traded KODK and then talked a little bit about this kind of crazy momentum stock, QRTEB, which is, it's low volume, crazy momentum, no news, the stuff that is very risky. It can be really fun, but can be really dangerous, and so I steered clear. All right, so enjoy the recap as always. Those of you who kept trading today or traded the IPO on Snow, I'll be interested to see tomorrow how that looks. But right now, I'm shutting it down, walking away, and I'll be back at it tomorrow, hopefully for another small green day. All right, see you guys in the morning. All right, so we're going to do midday market recap. It's about 10:45, and I'm up $1,100, which is good. I'm going to say, hey, it's a green day. No reason to overstay my welcome. The goal today was to get green and try to stay green, and I did it. I traded KODK, and I actually kept track. I took a total of, 8 plus 3, 12, 11 trades, of which 8 were winners and 3 were losers. So a lot of small base hits. Probably the biggest winner was 10 cents a share. The biggest loser, unfortunately, was about, 18 cents a share, which is kind of, typical of this market. But I'm walking away green. So pretty good accuracy today, but the profit loss ratio wasn't great. I was nervous on KODK. KODK is up 50% today on news that they hired, I guess, a law firm. This actually wasn't, this wasn't the catalyst that we were looking at. Where was it? It was a little bit further down, but, yeah, it's funny. In any case, many of you guys know they were awarded a $700 million something contract by the government, and I guess right before that news became public, some of the executives executed some stock options, and so the headline that we had earlier was that they hired a law firm to review their practices and said that their practices were totally fine. But that was by a law firm that they hired. So that doesn't change the fact that the SEC is still investigating them and hasn't, as far as I know, cleared them of any wrongdoing. So I was sort of like, that's a weird catalyst. I don't know if I really trust it. It seems like they're trying to, get the word out that they did everything by the book. But again, it's not going to be ultimately up to them to, it's the regulators that have to clear them. So anyways, we had this really big move pre-market. And I said, pre-market, I was like, I don't know, I'm nervous about it. I'm not sure it's going to work. So actually, while it was doing this first pullback pre-mark or at when the bell rang, I said I was like, let me try to drag this down here. I'll do it later. So I said 9:30. Okay, here's the spot where I'd be getting long, but it's a little aggressive, and I wasn't comfortable being a little aggressive on it, and so that spot was right down here. Just because basically at the open we got a little bit of a sell-off, and I was like, okay, if it starts to curl, then that's the place I would typically go long, and that was right here. And it rips up here to 950, then to 10, 1025, 1030, 1040, 1050, all the way up to 1070, got halted, resumes, hits a high of 1140, pulls back, it bounces almost off the volume weighted average price, and I got in right there and got back out for about 10 cents of profit, $700. All right, nothing to be crazy excited about, but it's a little profit. I got back in right here for the break back over the volume weighted average price, got back out for 10 cents, another $700. All right, so small winners. Got back in for the break back over 90. We hit a high of 10, was back out of that for like $400, small profit. It squeezed up here to a high of 1030. And I added on this pullback right here at 10, right around 1010, thinking it would hold 10. It flushed, and that was the one I stopped out at like 990. So I gave back. I was up right here about 2,000, I don't know, something, and then 2,800 maybe, and it flushes down. I got stopped out. I then got another trade on it. I can't remember. It must have been like right around here, bounce off the volume weighted average price, but that only gave me like $200. So I was up close to 3,000. I'm up only 1,100. I was trading with small size initially, but was taking bigger size once I started to build a little bit of a cushion. The biggest size I took was 10,000 shares. And of course that was on the one where I lost half my profit. So, one of the things that often I will say is it's good to scale down share size once you have some profit. But sometimes I will scale up share size as I'm trying to build up more of a profit cushion and trying to build some profit on the day. But this is the downside risk, is that in one trade you could potentially give back half your day or even the whole day. But green is good, so I'm going to walk away green, $1,100. And right now, I'm just trying to get kind of as many trades and green days between me and Monday and Tuesday as I can, just to kind of, clear the slate from the losses and sort of press the reset button. And so definitely doing it with smaller share size is the right way to do it. Not trying to be super aggressive, not trying to hit home runs. I did see this super light volume stock, QRTEB, which on like 90,000 shares of volume went from 6 all the way up to 20. It halted going down. It then gapped higher at 20 and halted going down a second time. That's very strange. I don't know what that's about. If it breaks over 20 and has a green candle, then it might squeeze out short sellers that were shorting for the first halt going down. That's very unusual price action. I haven't seen something like that in a long time. So I don't know. But again, look at this. It's up over 100% with no news. Well, what's the deal? How does this happen? And I don't always know, but there's an opportunity there potentially, but it would take a willingness to be a little more aggressive than I think I can afford to be. So I'm locking up $1,100 in my retirement account. Green is good. I'm not going to overstay my welcome. I'll be back at it tomorrow, Thursday. I could feel a little bummed out that I didn't capitalize on this KODK trade, but one of the things I said yesterday, I said the punishment of having had 2 big red days in a row is that when you do get that first setup, you're not going to be able to position yourself to make good money on it because you've got to be conservative. And that's the punishment. That's what happens when you get too aggressive like I did on Monday and Tuesday. Then you're going to spend a couple days slowly digging yourself out of the hole, being conservative, and it's not the funnest thing, but it is what it is. So today's $1,000. I could have walked away up 2,000, but I kept trading, made a little bit more, and then gave a little bit back. I was up like 24, then 26, then 28. I think I was actually up 31 and then down to up only 1100. So, hey, green is good. 10 more days like this, and I'll definitely have my confidence back. I'll be feeling back on center. And typically, the further I get sort of space from a couple of big red days, the more confident I get. The first few days getting back on the horse, after taking a good fall, you're a little shaky, you're a little timid. You're going to naturally be a little more cautious. It's the same as everyone else. So I did break out or bail out today on pretty much everything. The one trade that even on this trade, I could have, so look at that QRTEB. So now this is what's going to happen. Anyone who shorted on these two red candles, now they're going to get squeezed out. You're getting high volume and it's going higher. It doesn't make sense. That's going to be a nasty squeeze for those early short sellers. But it's still only 200,000 shares of volume, so it's very hard to trust. And you would never, I don't think, be able to take big share size on that. Maybe 500 shares, maybe 1,000. You take 5,000 shares of something like that, you're talking about $25,000 of downside risk potentially. It's too much, maybe even more. But yeah, so on KODK, the entry that I had around 1009 or whatever this was, I did give it a second to bounce off of 10, which you could say breakout or bailout. Don't even give it that second, just cut it loose. So yeah, maybe I could have cut that one a little faster. I was in, where was it? I took two trades. I took one trade here and sold it here and was like, good. Got back in right here and then sold it right here. So all things considered, it's not bad. I think I was back in, I'd have to look at my orders, but it just happened that on that one I had a bigger position. So whatever, it's fine. Today, generally speaking, was a good day. I stayed within sort of the share size that I had allocated for myself. Once I started to get back profit, I sort of eased right off the throttle. That does mean I'm missing QRTEB, but I'm also walking away green, which is the most important thing. While it would have been, cool to jump in QRTB right here at 20 and sell it at 22 with 500 shares and make an extra $1,000, the downside risk of it halting going down at 16 and losing $2,000, just today's not the day that I can afford that trade. Sorry to say, I wish I could, but I can't. So, and the fact is, a lot of these really light volume stocks, they scare me because the price action feels so irrational, and you don't know when you might get caught in a halt going down, or maybe even a T12 halt, halted pending investigation, halted pending news. So you got to trade those with some real caution. And again, if I had a profit cushion, I might say, hey, I can afford it. I can afford to take a little risk. And even if worst case happens, I'm still going to be on top. Right now, I just got knocked down hard on Monday and Tuesday. So 2 red days in a row, I'm not in a place where I could emotionally afford another big knock off the horse. So, it's can be a little self-perpetuating. When you start to have some red days, you start to get timid, then you start to miss stuff, you get frustrated, you miss stuff. It could make you tend to overcompensate on the next trade. You've got to be careful of that. You've got to take A quality trades. Some of the B quality trades might end up working and you're like, man, I should have done it, but you didn't. And it's through a period of slowly regaining confidence, like one green day like today, $1,100, and then maybe another small green day tomorrow, another small green day Friday. That would be 3 green days in a row. Next thing I know, I'm going into the weekend feeling like, okay, the ship is no longer sinking. I've stopped the leaking. The water's not coming in anymore. We've still got a little ways to go, but I've got to start bailing out. But at least I've stopped the leaking or the bleeding, or however you want to think of it. So that's what I started to do today. Got a little patch on. We've stopped some of the bleeding, but I'm not out of the woods yet. I need a few more days to really feel like I'm moving in the right direction. So good luck for those that continue trading today. I'm happy with 1100. It's I'm happy that I agreed with myself to stop where I'm at, even though this isn't as nice as being up 2800. It's far, far better than taking that one last trade to try to get myself back to up $3,000 and being down $3,000 for a third red day in a row. Just couldn't take it today. So I'm green. Ends the red streak. I'm shutting it down. I'm not going to look at stocks for the rest of the day. Whatever Snow does today, it's going to do it without me. You know, maybe it makes a huge move on the open, on the IPO. Maybe it fades. I won't know till tomorrow. I'll see you guys then. Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. Help us hit 750,000 subscribers by hitting that subscribe button, and stay tuned and check out some of my other awesome uploads right here on YouTube.